All right, What a Wild Spirit Brings by Lil, Chapter 11. She had told the Power a plan she didn't know she could actually perform. She wasn't technically related to ties, which meant that she might not actually be able to enter the Wilder. She truly believed she could, though, for reasons unknown to her. She just felt she could. She fell asleep thinking of the Wilder, of wilderness, of being wild. What? She was standing in a courtyard of hedges on every side. There were things growling on the other sides of the hedges. The sky was purple and the ground was black and shaking a little. She wanted to get away, but she was also curious where she was. She wondered if this were the Wilder and decided to try to do something amazing that could only be done in a dream. She leapt into the air and tried to will herself to keep going up. It worked. She was flying. She saw a huge black area outside the hedges, like there had been some vast fire in the shape of a circle, and black shadows were snarling and mulling about down there. It was scary because she could feel herself floating. She could feel the air pressing against her and could smell the burnt earth. Was this really more than a dream? It felt real. Then she saw a city in the distance. It was all white. She flew toward it. It looked almost like the college, except it was in the middle of a burned area instead of where it should be. There was a fortress there as well, and she went into it looking for the King Rutford. She wandered down many halls, opening every door as she went, to search for him, but also to let herself know where she had been, if she came back to somewhere. When she finally found him, it wasn't him. It was a black blob of an ooze in the king's room. Sitting watching the blob was an Entha wild one. She was surprised to see Lil come in, and started to wave her hand and fingers in an odd position, then stopped when she noticed Lil's marks. Still confused, the woman settled, and eyed Lil up and down. "Do you know where you are, little one?" "I am in the Wilder?" "Yes." "Thank the light! I knew I could come here! I just knew it!" Lil shouted, jumping up and down from delight. "You should not be so glad. This is a dangerous place." "But I am! My mother could enter it. I'm so proud to be like her. She was a woman of honor, my mother, Wild One." The Wild One, in her brown robe, smiled and nodded agreement, honoring one being honored. Lil smiled back at her and nodded her thanks. The Wild One then stood. "Tell me, little one, if you are of our people, and you know you can enter the Wilder, why are you not under training?" "I am with the Haldani." The Wild One looked perplexed. "Why?" "Because I am hoping the Power will help me kill the king. Tomorrow I see her again. Please, Wild One, are you always here? Do you know Tindra of the Black Weapon clan? What should I call you?" Shocked, the Wild One replied, I am Blaxian, and yes, I am guard over him in the night. Tindra is the leader of the Black Weapon clan. Of course I know her. All the head of clan know and are known by the Wild Ones. What shall I call you, little one?" "I am called Little Brave One amongst my clan." The woman started laughing. "You are certainly well named." "Everyone says that," Lil said, laughing herself. When the laughter died down, the Wild One sat back down against the wall and asked, "Do you know anything of the ways of the Wilder, Little Brave One?" "No, Blacksea, and I do not." "Then I shall teach you your first lesson. You will always start in a court of hedges. Once there, you must find your own way of leaving. There are many ways to move about here. Once free, you will be at the place you are thinking of as you fall asleep. From there you may travel to wherever you wish in all the world. To leave the Wilder, though, little brave one, you must remember how to return to the Court of Hedges, or you might be lost here forever. There are other dangers here besides that. Human spirits come here while their bodies dream and rest. Their spirits are much like their bodies are. Animal spirits come as well, and wild animals are always dangerous spirits. Lately, this area especially has been very dangerous. People are growing hardened by the war. Those who walk the Wilder, wild ones, and the occasional random soul that is truly wild, are not like others of the world. Our spirits are not represented here. We truly come here. But other spirits, if bad or hurting or angry, will hurt us. Never trust a spirit here. This blob is the fat, selfish king. Most of his soldiers are in the barracks at night. I am glad you did not meet a patrol of them on your way here. You could have become part of one's dream, or attacked, or both. All dangerous, and an injury gained here is gained in life, if you come in consciousness. Do you remember your way out, little brave one?" "Yes, I was dreaming of the woods outside the city. Now I understand why it was all black and crawling, growing, growling shadows here." "Thank you, Blaxian." "You are welcome, little brave one. It is frowned upon to teach a girl the ways of the Wilder inside the Wilder until her first year of training. But in your case I do believe the Great Trial will forgive." Please, what is the great try? You are Entha and not know the great try? I was made Entha. I am Ty's daughter. Ty's? Yes, Blaxian, did you know her? I was a student with her. After the required 2 years, she left the teaching and became a warrior instead. She was a brave woman. She saved my life once. I was odd as a girl. I had no way with any weapon, which for our people is almost unheard of. A lion chased me one day. She killed it with a stick through the eye. I will never forget that honor. It earned her a red right. I see you have one yourself, little brave one. Yes, the clan gave it to me. They were fighting Monsol and their bonded Kirik. I helped as best I could while wounded, and my mother and I escaped the battle, for she also was wounded. She died with me. She was with child, or she would never have left the fight. Did the babe survive? The last I saw her was when she did not even show signs of pregnancy. Yes, he is my brother, and he is safe, with good people far from the war. That is probably best. As you say, Blaxian, you seem to lack feeling for him. She died birthing him. I still have to accept him in some ways. To disown him would dishonor Ty's death. Lil started crying some. The Wild One rose and held her for a few moments. Lil remembered to be proud of the tears. I do not wish to dishonor her, and I do not wish to disown him. I just do not wish to be near him right now. Then what you do is good. It is better to be away and not harm than with and cause grief. Lil cried more. Please, do you know how to reach Tindra? If I wanted to tell her something, could you tell her, even that night? Yes, I know the way of reaching dreams safely. A dangerous skill to learn. Never try it yourself. I won't. Please, could you tell her for me that I am talking to the Power about how to kill the king, and that it would involve her doing it if the Power accepts the plan? Could you ask her if she is willing to take the great risk for the sake of the end of the war? She will be glad to do it, little brave one. Knowing her, an honor as great as killing him would drive almost any Entha to go to Shalom itself. I will tell her. Thank you, Blaxian, Lil cried and hugged the Wild One. She laughed and said, It is my honor, little brave one, to be part of his end. Lil stepped back and wanted to spit at the glob of goop that was his spirit. Blubberous lord of a king. She would not forget the sight of him. Then something occurred to her. Why can you not kill him here? Because, little brave one, to attack the spirit would only drive it mad. He is already in power, so to turn him insane would be a detriment, not beneficial. Unfortunately, the only way to die here is when the body dies for the spirit. All the dangers here are only dangers to those that can walk here. Light that burns. As you say, little brave one, it is getting early. You should return to your dreams now and rest if you are meeting the Power tomorrow. I will look forward to seeing you again, little brave one. And I will look forward to seeing you, Blacksea the Wild One. May you always find shade in water, and may you always have allies in water. Both smiling, Lil turned away and snuck to the first window. She leapt out and flew back toward the outside of the city of the white. She flew over the black area, and she had to search for a while to find that little courtyard. If she hadn't been flying, but on the ground, she might never have found it. She wondered what other many ways to leave the hedges were. She awakened, not remembering, only dreaming about Demeen eating her as a roast, but also of her time spent in the wilder with Blaxian. She was so happy she wanted to cry. Instead, she pulled on a dress Mitten had brought for her, made of silver silk, and left to see the Power with her friend, clicking her mother's mark with her fingers.